All right, awesome. All right, so next up, I want to bring Lenny back. Lenny, we've got Marty and Josh that are coming back in, and they've got some really cool things that they're going to be sharing with you. So I don't know if Lenny's back there in the background right now. All right.
I'm here.
So I hear the whenever you hear the boom, there's energy that's coming right behind that, right, Shannon? Shannon, you over there cracking up. I see you laughing.
I'm
She
here.
already knows. All right. Sally Saxon, let's get it going. I see you with your Mac computer over there. Linda Morrow, Shannon Walsh. Shannon's at MIA. We've got Neil Wilson over there. Neil. All right. Kiri Schultz. Kay Rivera. You're back. Kay Rivera is back. She was with us the last time. All right. I remember you. All right. Phyllis Reed is back. Phyllis was with us the last time as well. Good to see you back. Leo Wadsworth. Leo, my brother from another mother. What's going on back there with all of the books? I love a man who's got a library there because there's a lot to learn from that individual. All right. There you go. All right, Lenny, I'm going to pass it on to you. We're going to get back into this. Let's bring Marty and Josh right on. So,
All right, cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, that was a wonderful interview that just was done. That was super awesome, super cool. One of the major takeaways that I noticed was what she had on the wall. All right. You want to manifest, your future, your goals. So, you want to take pictures of these plaques. Okay. Take pictures of them and hang them up on your wall so you can see that every single day, so you would know what your mission is every single day, and you will not give up. You will keep going, just like Lindsay said. So these next two guys, Josh and Marty, they mean a lot to me. And outside of these guys just making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars doing what they do, what I love about them is they love to give back. They love just to talk and communicate and support and see where someone's issue is, and go in there and just say, let's face this challenge together and conquer it. All right, that's what I love. Outside of those things, they named me Lenny the Boss, so I gotta sit here and love them for that. So if everyone here can help me bring in my two guys who's going to teach you guys about how to look for a niche, bring in my guys, Josh and
Ready. How's everyone doing?
all right.
Appreciate that introduction, Lenny.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the energy. It's like the energy that passes through the screen or something. It just hits you.
Boom!
Y'all go crazy in the chat. Josh and Marty party.
Yeah,
Y'all already know what time it is.
Yeah, party in the house. You know what time it is. All right, Josh, you got your screen. How's the audio?
Shared right now.
You guys hear us pretty good before we start talking up a storm. Yes. Audio is good. Yes. Awesome. Can you guys see the screen? You two are looking fine today. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're rocking that Kindle Cash Flow merch. We're going to be giving some of these away. Audio decent. Okay, I can plug in some headphones. You look slimmer, Marty. Man, you calling me fat?
This thing. Is the screen good? Can you all see the screen? Screen is good. Where am I? Stay focused. All right. But listen, let's just go ahead and jump into this thing. You know us, we like to, jump right into the meat and potatoes. But before we do get to the meat and potatoes, we do have a little preliminary, okay? So we do have some questions for you. And you can type into the chat box, answer how you want. But how many of y'all want to live the laptop lifestyle? How many of y'all want to do that? How many of you all want to live the laptop lifestyle and literally have the ability to work wherever you want, whenever you want? I see the chat box is being flooded right now. Yeses, of course. Yes, absolutely. What about getting paid 24/7, no matter where you are in the world? I'm talking about beaches. Going to see your family, whatever that is for you.
How many just sleep and get paid? Like literally whenever you're just sleeping, you're getting paid. Waking up to money. Well, hello, money. Money says great morning. Z's going in the chat.
All right. So as you all know, we're talking about, self-publishing on Amazon, right? So the question always arises, and we feel like we have to explain this, like why Amazon out of like all the different platforms that you can publish on? Well, we have a few reasons here. First and foremost, online sales continue to increase year after year with ebooks, paperbacks, and audiobooks. All of these are digital formats. Amazon, they are literally a publishing giant, and Amazon makes it really easy for you to publish your books and market them on there. Publishing is an evergreen market, and they'll always be around. So we like to look at this like, movies. There's probably movies or TV show that you probably watched like quite a few times. Books work just the same way. And the amount that you can earn from self-publishing literally has no limits. There's no limit or cap. No one's going to tell you, you've made too much money. And then last things here, you can get paid international sales. So not only, you put it up in the US store, you're going to get paid in the United States. You also get paid in places like Canada, the United Kingdom, Japan, Australia, etc. And like we were just saying, you can work literally anywhere in the world.
Yeah, so you're saying we can go on here, and Ty did a really good job explaining Amazon. Like, they do everything for you. They simplify it. It's extremely easy to get on Amazon and start publishing and building a business on top of their platform. And everyone has Amazon. So you're using their branding to also help you make more sales. So you're saying you can literally be anywhere in the world, sleep, do anything you want, get paid, and not just get paid passive income, but you're getting paid internationally around the world. Come on now. This stuff is starting to sound like a no-brainer here.
You want to take
we got some generational passive income and multiple streams. So this is something that we really wanted to point out here. So you got ebooks, you got paperbacks, and you got audiobooks. And there are probably going to be more that come down the line because it always changes some type of form, but it all stays the same in some way, shape, and form. All right. So we always start off with ebooks because it's instant, it's digital. You can go and edit it anytime that you want to. If you make a mistake, well, you can go fix that mistake. Other like paperback, you won't be able to do that because once it's already a physical copy, it's out there. But yet again, you can use all of these to make more streams of income. And something we really wanted to point out here, one title, you can have an ebook, you can have a paperback, you can have an audiobook. So that means in another way, one series, you can have all three of these as well. So that means every single title you put out can have 3 streams of income right there on Amazon, 3 different streams of income. And this kind of reminds me, it just came to the top of my head. Josh, what was that quote? It's just like an average millionaire has like 7 streams of income or something like that.
Yep, 7.
So imagine just having 2 books out and then you have all formats. Like that's 6 streams of income. That's pretty much like an average millionaire right there. And that's just 2 books. That's not even a full series. And that's not you continuously publishing and building your brand and stuff like that. So what we want to show here, Josh, if you can go ahead and hit that Amazon charts right here.
Yep.
Because we want to show you that this is really generational income here. As we all know, J.K. Rowling, like everyone knows Harry Potter, right? Just say yes or in the chat box if you know Harry Potter. So yesterday on our mini course training, we had someone tell us that Harry Potter actually came out in 1997. I was born in 1994, all right? So this book is honestly crazy, because they put out this book a long time ago. And look at it. Amazon charts, for those that don't know, this is the top 20 most sold and most read books of the entire week. But here's the thing, it's the entire week, but they're always on here. Still to this day, still making movies, still making video games, still making books. It's just the name, the brand just keeps going on and on and on and on. This, it's almost like immortal in a sense. It's always going to be around. And then J.K. Rowling gets to pass this on to her kids, grandchildren, and just keep on going. So how many of you on this call have an idea, you know what, I want to put these books out here and I want to pass these books on to my kids. I want to create some generational passive income here. Who wants that? Let us know in the chat box.
Me.
I like that. My kids and grandkids. Yes. Oh yeah, I do. Me, a bunch of me's came in. That's a long me right there. You held that E right there. Me. Beautiful existence. Yes, exactly. So I don't have kids yet. But when you do, you have an opportunity to pass something on to them. A digital legacy. I love that. I honestly wasn't even thinking about that. Digital legacy is what you're creating. All right. So Harry Potter's still there going strong.
Let me just make this bigger. Okay. All right. So who the heck are we? A lot of you do know us. There's a lot of new people on here as well that don't know us. But as you know, my name is Joshua Montoya. This is my brother here, Marty Cooney. And here's some of the details about us. So we've published over 500 plus books on the Amazon and different platforms. We've hit bestseller status over 200 plus times. We've made six figures in just 2 to 3 months with Amazon's platform and self-publishing ebooks online. We also have an email list of over 100,000 raving fans and readers. These are people that are actively ready to buy books when we send emails out to them. And authors, just like you, look to us to collaborate with them and help build their ebook businesses. And we've helped tons of students just like you all help achieve their financial freedom with their self-publishing business as well.
Mm-hmm. Here it is, y'all. A lot of you guys may know this. For the ones that don't, this is how we started. Josh started in nonfiction. I started off in nonfiction as well. Josh started making $500 every single month back then. This was around 2013. I started off in nonfiction doing ad books, and it didn't work out good for me. So I decided to, scratch that. I suck at it. Let me try something else different. So I went into fiction, and then I wrote this book right here, Lone Wolf. Now, this is a book I actually wrote. I wrote this book myself. This is the time we didn't even know that you could outsource your stuff and get ghostwriters to create content and stuff for you. So this was just me sitting in the room. You can imagine I lit some candles, told myself I'm not leaving this room until this thing is done. And I stayed in there for 12 hours, and Josh was my roommate. So he would just walk by and, he sees me in there with the nice candle settings, all dimmed down. So, and I put that book out and it was terrible. It was lots of mistakes. My very first review I ever gotten was a guy named Drew that said this book was so bad he would give it a negative rating if he could. And that honestly crushed me. It crushed my spirit. It crushed everything. It made me actually give up on Kindle. I actually gave up a period of time, almost a year that I quit. And, both of us, we actually both almost quit and decided that we were about to go to college because we just weren't good enough, because we felt like we didn't have the proper education to actually write a story. We didn't have direction. We didn't have consistency. We didn't go do market research. We didn't do any of that. We just, boom, wrote it, threw it out there. Josh was fortunate enough in the very beginning to get $500. He was winning, My stuff sucked. All right, we didn't have no email list, and we only had $250. Us working together, we only had $250 to invest into the business because we were working, jobs and stuff, and we are going to be talking about that. We weren't networking, and we didn't learn about our target audience. But that's the beginning.
Whoops. So here we were living literally, guys, paycheck to paycheck. Our friends and family was telling us this stuff was a scam, telling us to go to college, do this, do that, really trying to dictate our lifestyles and how we were living. We were negative in our bank accounts just about every single month, felt about every single day.
Negative 900 to be exact.
Yeah, $900.
Every month.
And we lived with our parents at the time. You can see here in these pictures. Well, we were in blow-up beds right here, but we started on the floor, literally just some sheets, some pillows, and we just made it do what it do until we upgraded to these things right here.
Yeah. I'm never going to get used to seeing that pillow. I know I probably say it every single time this photo's up there, but guys, don't come at me when you look at that pillow. It was a struggle, right? I got clean pillows now, but back in the day, we were struggling. And I see someone said, pretty much asking you, Josh, did you break your arm? And just a quick thing, at that moment, Josh actually got into a car accident. So he fell asleep on the wheel because I was working third shift one day and we went together and got a car. So we had to share it. We literally were just struggling to survive. We needed each other just to survive. And one night he dropped me off at third shift and he fell asleep on the wheel and the car went into the big ditch. And the whole right side of the car just got completely destroyed. And he came out like the car was just, oh my gosh, you would think, honestly, you would think he lost his life the way that car looked. But he came out with just a broken arm. And so right after that, I took this picture. So he's laying on the bullet bed. I think this is when you just got home. Like you just got back out the hospital and you were just, laying down. I just took a picture of this man. So it's been crazy. But yeah, shout out Josh. He's still here. We still going strong.
That's right. All right.
So this is interesting. We started off on the floors, then we got blow-up beds, and this is when we finally upgraded to the second floor. We went to the second floor and then we got to share a room because before we were sleeping in the living room. And everyone would walk through there, people watch TV, someone's coming down cooking and slamming the microwave. You know how that goes. If you sleep in the living room, you already know how it goes. And we finally got it, made it to the second floor. So we have a cot now. And we got this cot from Walmart. At the time, I think it was probably like $40, $45 or something. And that's mine. So once again, guys, don't judge me over the pillows and stuff. This is the past, okay? That's mine. And then Josh, his side of the room was the same thing. So just mirror that. So just think of that's my corner and Josh had his corner. And on the wall, this is the reason why we put this picture in here, because even though we were struggling, we were reconditioning our mind. We were telling ourselves that we can do it. We will do it. We must do it. Like we can't afford not to do it. And what we did, even though we saw this reality, we would put these note cards on the walls and put exactly what we want, the life we want. So when we walked in and we saw the struggle that causes depression for us, we kept reading the note cards on the wall. Like, no, you are greatness. You will make it. You matter. You're valuable. And on top of that, the Richest Man in Babylon, we were reading books. We were reconditioning our mind. We were learning, educating ourselves, because we knew if we wanted to get out this situation, well, we have to do something different. Well, what aren't we doing? Well, we're not educating ourselves. We need self-discipline. And that's when we started to pick some things up. We started to, put note cards on the wall, start reading some books and stuff like that. The note cards are a life changer. If you guys have note cards, definitely get some, put them on the walls, put it in places that you always go and you see something every single day.
Literally, that book right there is like, this is a different topic right here, but this is
I
like
one of the comments. This is crazy. You said if you roll over, you're not that far from the floor. See,
that's true.
It has some pros, all right? You fall off, you ain't falling far, so it's not that bad, huh?
So this book right here, The Richest Man in Babylon, just quick comment. If you all aren't familiar with this, it's an extremely good read. It's like one of the greatest books on financial discipline, in my opinion. And it's actually a fiction book. So it's actually, it's not technical. It's a pretty fun read. So definitely pick that up.
Yep.
Got some lovers. So this right here is when we were working our minimum wage jobs, that JOB, the acronym that we have over here, just over broke, barely making it. I'm over here at Sonic Drive-Thru. This is where I had started. This is actually one of my first real jobs, on paper. And we have Marty over here who was working at Harris Teeter at the time inside of the deli, making sandwiches and things like that. And we look happy. Well, Marty doesn't look too happy right here, but I'm pretending to look happy right here on the grill, flipping these burgers and stuff like that.
I think that was an advertisement photo for the website, I think.
Say what?
I think that was an advertisement photo for Sonic. So smile through there. That's what it looks like. He's smiling, flipping
so I'm happy. Co-worker Sonic.
Happy if you're going to see this man flipping burgers right there.
But these are although we're always preaching about getting away from jobs and working on your financial freedom, becoming an entrepreneur and stuff. This is honestly a good time and bad time. It was a blessing and curse at the same time because it allowed us to earn income, right? So that way we could do the things that we needed to do inside of Kindle and also provide for ourselves. But it was also a struggle. We didn't want to be a slave to the clock in and clock out lifestyle. Our boss telling us what to do, when to leave, how to do. And, at Sonic, it's terrible, smelling like grease, dealing with the trash and just doing all the dirty stuff and stuff that we just knew that we were meant and purpose for higher things, that our talents and abilities were meant for, situations just like this. So that way we could teach you all and pour into you all.
Yeah. And I only have one photo there for Harris Teeter, but I definitely worked inside the deli and after the deli, after that shift around 12, because I washed about 1,000 dishes every single day. But I was the king of the floors, I'll tell you that. I had that mop, and I made sure those floors were sparkly clean. That's one thing I had passion about. You walk on these floors, they're going to be clean. But after that, after the dishes and cleaning up, the slicers and everything, I had to go work overnight. And I was doing graveyard shift. And I had a lot of time to listen to some audios and stuff to recondition my mind. We'll talk about that. But then after the graveyard shift, I would have to go mow lawns. So my dad owned a lawn business, and I would go help him mow lawns in the very morning because I was just struggling. So there were many times I fell asleep on the mower. I had this one experience. I fell asleep on the mower, and I messed this client's flower thing all up. I went right over it, messed her whole flower thing up. Oh man, it was bad. But that's how we were living. It was a struggle. So Marty, come mop my floors. Look, I retired. Right?
So guys, also like along with, our come up and stuff, and we'll explain each of what we have going on, but we have some disabilities, we don't like to claim that, right? But it's the technical word. It's what it's called, right? So me, I have ADHD, which if you don't know what that is, it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And that can come in a few different ways, mostly sometimes it's forgetfulness or just being, distracted. If I'm having a conversation, sometimes, my mind will veer off and I have to just get back on path, or, just being, like I said, being forgetful, just being unable to like stick to tasks. So I have to do, a little bit more extra things to get the things that I need done. But this is to say, even with disabilities, we were able to do the things that we were, and we didn't let this one thing hold us back and not become I guess you could say like hallmark. Some people attach themselves to this thing, and it's like, this is like their excuse for not getting things done. And I didn't allow that to happen.
Yeah. And on my side, still got it. I got 60% hard hearing in both of my ears. So just a quick disclaimer, we meet in person and you say something to me, I don't hear you. It's nothing personal. I just can't hear, right? But I got 60% in both of my ears. And honestly, I battled myself, and still to this day, I battle myself about this, because there's one thing that you want to make a change, and then there's reality as well. I tell myself every single day, I hear everything. I hear everything, right? And yet I go encounter something, you could be right here face to face with me and I won't hear a single thing that you're saying. And sometimes I'll hear everything. And then other times I hear it like broken up English. Like I hear vowels now, but everything else is kind of like I had to literally make up what you're saying from the way you're moving your lips, your body language and stuff like that. So I found ways to adapt and cover for the hearing loss I had. So like my vision plays a big role. And I see you guys saying, I bet you're good at lip reading. Yes, I got that skill. I got that talent, especially when we went to Jamaica. I was probably completely deaf. I couldn't hear nothing. They were speaking, broken English, and I just couldn't hear anything. So what I had to rely on is reading lips. Like whenever, Josh is talking here, I'm watching his lips. I'm literally reading his lips right here. And every conversation I have, I do that. So it's a struggle. It's definitely something that can destroy my confidence. Like every single day, I actually have here in small print, school try to label me retarded. That's a real thing. My mom threatened to sue the school because they wanted to label me retarded. Back in the day, they didn't know that I had hard hearing. So they thought like I couldn't keep up with the classroom. So they thought like, yo, he's special, like you have to put him over here. Like he has to go to special education. And my mom just didn't shout out to my mom because she believed in me so much. And even she didn't even know, right? She just believed in me. She said, my son is not that, So it's a struggle. It's a struggle every single day, still to this day. I know someone's probably thinking like, hey, why don't you wear hearing aids? I got hearing aids now, but I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I I don't want to wear the hearing aids. I don't. I'm not going to lie. Like, I put it on and I feel bad about myself that I actually need something to actually help me hear. But, you know, it's all about, you just got to go do what you got to do, right? So I've been practicing, always looking for new ways. And just to throw something else out there, that everyone, if you guys can hear, if you can walk outside and hear birds chirping and singing and stuff, you have a gift. I can't hear that. I walk outside, Josh be like, you hear that? I'm like, man, look, sometimes it's a good thing. Like, these crickets or frogs, whatever Josh be talking about, kind of super annoying. I put the hearing aids on, I hear it. But if you guys can hear those kind of things, you have a gift. You have something very special that no matter how much money I make in this world, I will not be able to buy that. Obviously, I can have hearing aids, right? But it's not the same as having your natural hearing. So it's something to be thankful about. And I'm happy. Don't look at me like I'm not happy or anything. But yeah.
Keep the energy up. Awesome. So yeah, guys, you know, after all that, we got tired of this stuff. We got tired of struggling. We were desperate, literally desperate for a way out of this. We wanted change so bad. So we got sick and tired of barely making it by every single month, you know, being broke, negative $900 something in our bank accounts, sick of our families being disappointed, telling us to go to college, you know, looking at us as if we aren't doing something with our lives because we are pursuing something in entrepreneurship that hasn't manifested yet. You know, sick of wishing that we had a better life, just seeing it inside of our heads. And like these jobs that we just showed you, we're tired of our bosses telling us what to do, when to come into work, when to clock out, and this and that. And just sick and tired of not living our dreams, you know, being able to travel, being able to spend more time with our family, being able to wake up on our terms and when we want to. And last but not least, just living up to our full potential and being who we were created to be on this earth. And that is the maximum of who we are.
Yeah. How many of you guys are sick and tired of something right now? Like, you want something changed right now. If you're sick and tired, go ahead and put me in the chat. If you're sick and tired of something right now, put me. Look at it. It's flooding in. We all can relate. There's always something in our life that we're sick and tired. And a lot of this comes down to financial stuff. Or it might not be financial. It could be something related with time, right? And this is another reason why we go so hard and so passionate about this business, because it changed our lives. You know, it gave us money. The money gave us time. The time gave us more experience and memories and happiness, you know? So we're here to help everyone change. You know, this is our passion. All of us, Ty, Josh, and I, the whole team. We're gonna make some big differences out here, and we're happy and thankful that you all are a part of this family and that we're gonna do this together. Just crush us. This is a good one right here. This is a good one. So we know you can do this. So I want to go back to one moment where I talked about overnight, right? I worked a graveyard shift every single night. I was listening to success audios, and there was one night I worked 8 hours through the whole entire night, and I was listening to success audios on YouTube. When I was listening to Les Brown one night. When Les Brown said this quote, "Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality." When he said that quote, I promise, I was on aisle 6 stocking water. Big 35 pack of water. I was done. They put me on the heavy stuff out, right? So I was putting that over, and I was just like, wait a second. Because at this very moment, I kept telling myself, I'm not good enough. I can't do it because I have a disability that's holding me back. You know, every single job I applied for, whenever I was honest about I had hard hearing, they didn't give me a job. I got Harris Teeter. I worked at Harris Teeter because I chose to not tell them about that. And then they hired me on the spot. And I'm like, are you serious? So I was getting discriminated all this time. That's what was going on. But whenever I heard that and it said, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality, I heard it, my parents, in school, like my whole life, everyone's telling me like, Marty, you can't hear, you're hard hearing. And then one day I'm just like, you know what? What do I want for myself? What do I want to say about myself? Forget all this other stuff. Everyone's telling me I'm hard hearing. Everyone's telling me I'm not good enough. My own, family is telling me I'm going to be dead, broke, or in jail. What about me? Why don't I be the author of my own life and write my own story? Right? Stop giving someone else this pen. This is a pen of your life. Take it, grab it, Write your own story. Don't give this pen away. And then that's what I got from that quote. And ever since that moment, I stopped telling myself I was hard hearing. Now I say it on these calls because I want to be honest and transparent with you all. And when I walk around, I tell myself I hear everything. I done heard it all. Heard it all. And then Josh is my ears as well. If I don't hear something, Josh got me. You know, especially live events. We were at Learn and doing some live events. And as I stand on the stage, I can't see everyone's lips because it was dark, and then I'm further away and I can't hear everyone. So if I didn't hear someone, Josh got me. So Josh is like, he's my walking ears right here. You know, he always had me, especially I could be right here in the mall. I don't hear someone. He'll be right there. He'll jump right in. Yeah, we're going to do this just like that. Cause he understands, you know? So, you know,
My boy.
You know, thank you for all you do. I appreciate you.
No problem, brother. No problem. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too, bro. Yeah.
All right. So, you know, after all that, I don't even know if So we told ourselves we can do this. And look, guys, this is what we did. We said, yes, we did it. We did it. We finally made it. We finally made no more Sonic. No more Harris Teeter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But this is what we were able to do right here, you know? We were able to travel with our girlfriends, some of the family. You see some of the KCF team right here. You know, you see Marty in a waterfall because he wants to.
That water was mad cold too. You know, we got Josh sitting there. Mm-hmm. We were in what, Carousel?
Yeah, Carousel.
And then Josh was on TV. That was in Jamaica. That was the first time he was on TV in Jamaica. He went on the #1 channel in Jamaica, and we were talking about Amazon Kindle and started to teach people about it. So we actually started teaching people about it in Jamaica when we first got success. We went over there and decided, like, you know what? We can show them how to make an online business and stuff. And that's where it all really started. And you got Lenny the boss over there. You got Ronnie, you know, a lot of us. But this is awesome. This is a reward, but this is what matters the most to us right here. Dedicated to help others. Mm-hmm. And you see it, like we travel everywhere. Now we can't fit all the pictures in here, but this is what it's all about, giving back. Back in 2013, Josh and I, we spoke a goal into existence. We said we were going to manifest this. We said we're going to become super successful with Amazon Kindle, and then we're going to teach people how to do it. How to change their lives the same way we changed ours. Like seriously, Amazon Kindle seriously changed our lives, and it saved our life. You know, it really saved our life. Like honestly, you know, I have a tattoo right here that there was times that, you know, Josh and I, we both were suicidal, you know, and I have place your hand over your heart. Feel that? That's called purpose. You're alive for a reason. You know, I feel that heartbeat. I made a commitment. I would never think that low of myself ever again. You know, same thing for Josh. I'm going to have to slap him if he talks that stuff, you know? You know, like, but this is Amazon Kindle. It gave us an opportunity. It showed us a way out. You know, it showed us that we can make passive income. We can do big things. We can do great things. We can help others. And we chose to stay focused with that. We made a decision and decided that we're going to be committed and make it happen and manifest it. And in results, we made it here. Could you imagine, Josh? You know how many times we wanted to end it? And look, we want to even see it through this, man. We're crazy. You know, like if we get a time machine, I'm going to go back and slap myself. I promise you.
But sincerely, though, like, you know, just to piggyback, like this stuff really comes from the heart and soul, you know, when we're teaching you all in the information that we're giving you. And I know we don't have to say that, right? I know you all know that, but we really want this information to impact you all in a way that not only affects you, but as we've been talking about, you know, throughout this seminar on a generational level. You know, the information that we're giving you skills and tools, things that people can't take away from you, you know, once you've learned these things, and you'll be able to pass those things on for generations to come. And, you know, this may not even be the end all be all for you, Kindle. You know, for some people, it's just a vehicle to get to where you want to be. Yeah. But that's where we are with it. You know, we attach a value to everything that we do. You know, money is secondary, but it's all about you all, the people. And that's always been first on our minds. So we just want to pour as much as we possibly can.
Yeah. I like what you said there because that's a true thing. I think we all started off as Amazon Kindle, and it was the cash flow for us. And with that cash flow, we were able to diversify and invest in different things like real estate, stocks and cryptocurrencies. We, donate to charities and stuff like that, help a lot of people out. But Amazon was the cash flow. It gave us the opportunity to be able to do so many things. So it's a very important factor of your whole overall success is having that cash flow.
Oops. All right.
All right. So we got some questions for you. Who wants this lifestyle? Let's hear it in the chat. Who wants it? We want to see it. I do, me. I'm ready. I do, me. Yeah. Love it. That's right. Manifest it. Speak it into existence. Feel it. Believe in yourself. You see the chat box. Everyone, you see it. All right.
I love it.
Let's jump into this thing. The mindset. So Josh and I, we were talking the other day, and we were thinking about, we have to think like a gardener whenever it comes to all this stuff. Is anyone a gardener? If you're a gardener, let us know in the chat. Yes. So you guys, you already have the mindset exactly how you can create this whole business. Like if you know how to plan, or if you ever done it one time, you don't have to do it like all consistently or have the title of a gardener. If you know how to put something in the ground and, put some water on it and take care of it, it's kind of like this publishing business. It's like the same thing. So you got to gather knowledge on how to plant. That's like market research. You got to get the right seeds to plant it in the right spots, right? That's like modeling success. Which seeds is going to be the right one that's going to build this plant over here because you've seen the plant you want. It could have been an apple tree. We're going to have apple trees. I'm going to keep Josh horses away from my apple tree, right? You're very, very serious about that. But you've seen an apple tree and you want to plant that. You saw the end goal. Right. So that's modeling the success, planting it in the right soil. You got to make sure that you put it in the right spot or, not everything's going to grow in every soil or spot in the ground. Right. So that's like publishing your book in the right market. You have to make sure you put the book in the right spot, make sure that you're giving it water, make sure that it's getting sun. And that's kind of continuing to learn. You need to always learn more, like never stop learning. You should always be going back to Amazon to do your market research just to see if there's any new trends. Is there anything else that came out that I could study and learn from, right? Have patience. A plant doesn't grow overnight. Like being a gardener, it teaches you that. Like you have to have patience. If you want that nice plant, apple tree, mango tree, not making me hungry now. I'm thinking about it. Just banana tree, strawberry. Thinking of a smoothie. But if you want that, you have to have patience. And it's just like this business because success is not going to happen overnight. You have to be committed. You got to stay consistent with it. And that's the next one. Be consistent. If you want your plant to grow, you have to give it time. You have to give it attention, right? And that is just like being consistent while publishing inside of the market. You need to make sure the readers don't forget about you. If you want to build this business to 6 figures, millions of dollars, you want to be financially free, one of the major keys is consistency. Put consistency down in the chat. If you have this, you can be successful. Seriously, if you have consistency, you can be successful. And there it is, goes in the chat. It's the key. It's the major key. Don't forget that. All right. And then we got protect the garden from bugs. The bugs that come around and messing with the apple tree. What do you think you're doing over there? Spray them out. All right. So that is kind of like reader reviews in a sense. You're going to have bad reviews that's going to come after you. And you got to make sure that you protect your mind from the reader reviews, the bad reviews. It's the same way you got to protect your garden from the bugs. Like my very first review that came out, it was terrible. It made me quit. I actually quit. One person made me give up on my dreams. And you have to protect yourself from that because that bad review, you need to turn it into fuel to make it positive, to push yourself to keep going. And then you got to protect the garden from weeds. Now, you don't have to ask weeds to grow. They're going to grow. They're going to be there. They just come and they always come. And that's kind of like your mindset. You have to believe in yourself. As you go through the journey, right? You have to stay focused. You have to stay committed. You got to stay consistent. And over time, you will start to doubt yourself. You're going to start saying like things like this in inner conversation. Can I even do this? How many of you honestly have been going through the Kindle publishing process and probably seen like Seth or, Brian, Nate, Sue, Caroline, like you've seen them post, and then you've been trying just for a little bit and you see it, and then you start questioning yourself, like, can I even do that? When you start doing that to yourself, you have to watch out for that, because the biggest enemy in your life is you. You are your own roadblock. And let me see if I get this quote right on the top of my mind. There's an old African proverb that said, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do us no harm. So that means there's something in here that's going to stop us. That's what it is. So you have to think like a gardener. And if you kind of keep that with you, it breaks it down. Just like planting, it's the same way for your business. Give it time, give it attention, let it grow, be patient, stay consistent. Anything you want to add on to that?
That was perfect. Perfect.
Thank you. And what we have here is Year of the Gardener. This is going to be a new hashtag. We're going to get Ty to make a shirt. Year of the Gardener. So let's put Year of the Gardener inside of the chat, because this year we're going to plant some seeds and we're going to build a passive income generational business that we're going to pass on to our family, our friends. We're going to share the information, all of our brothers and sisters inside of the Kindle Cashflow group. We're going to share the knowledge. We're all going to succeed together. This is a Year of the Gardener, and it's also the Year of the Paper. That's right.
They flying in with the Year of the Gardeners.
Year of the Gardener. So, if Ty's watching, we want to have to get maybe a Year of a Gardener shirt with a plant coming out of it, and like maybe some like a book or something.
Hey, we'll tell Ty to make this shirt.
Yeah, Year of the Gardener.
All right. So let's waste no time. Here is the keys to success, y'all. We're about to get into the real meat and potatoes here, okay? Everything's been meat and potatoes. We're about to get into it. So self-publishing made simple. This is the simplest way to think about it. You want to find a good niche, study the audience. Step 2. Step 3, you want to create a quality ebook. And then step 4, as we've been talking about, you want to make sure that you're staying consistent with the publishing process here.
Yes, love it. So when it comes to market research, you should think of it like building a house. So the market research is the most important part of the house. It's going to be the what? Can anyone guess what the market research is for a house? I want to see if anyone's going to get it real quick before I say the answer. Look at that. Look at that. Look, everyone's on point. It's a waterfall. That's right. It's the foundation. It's the footing. It's the very bottom. Because if the footing and the foundation is not good for the house, it won't stand up. That means everything will fall. It starts off with the foundation, the footing. So this is what market research is. So whenever you think of market research, think of it like, this is the foundation of my business. So I should take my time, right? I should do the research and don't rush it. And you should also think of market research like you're going to buy a house, or if you ever went to buy a house or maybe look at a townhome or look at an apartment, you walk in, right? And you're looking at everything. You're looking at everything. You're looking at like how the sink look, how big is the rooms, what's the driveway look like? What's the area look like? You're asking yourself all these questions. You should have that same kind of energy whenever you do your market research, just like you would go buy a house, because what you're doing, you're finding a spot where you're going to start building your digital empire or digital legacy out there. Shout out. I can't even remember who said it, but shout out. That was awesome. Your digital legacy. So take your time with the market research. Oh, I guess I had to answer on the slide the whole time. I didn't even realize it.
It is there, huh?
I guess. Well, you got it anyways.
So next thing here, you want to learn about your target audience. This is one of the second things that we do here, or first things is learning about our target audience. So it's important you take the time to study and get familiar with your target audience and what they love to read. You want to create books that your audience wants. So creating books that they want to read and not create books that you think they want to read. In other words, books that you came up with an idea and you're like, all right, I'm gonna just put this out there and publish that. We showed you in the beginning that didn't work for us. That wasn't a good foundation for what we had. So we just have a little example here. I'm gonna just read it real quick. So for example, when Marty started writing books, he didn't do the proper research about the audience and created a book he thought was cool and thought the people would like. This is where he went wrong because he didn't do the proper research to see what the audience really wanted to read. The only way to know what readers want is by researching your categories, books, and authors thoroughly and paying attention to what your audience wants to read, and publishing those books will bring you a lot of fans that will eventually become your reader army.
Yes. All of this is all about learning your target audience, because you have to think of it. Who's the one putting the money in your bank account? We're all doing this to become financially free, to have more time, right? Who's putting the money in your bank account? Are you putting your own money back in your pocket? Is that what you want? Or do you want your audience or your readers? I love that in chat. You want your readers to fill your bank account up. So that's why it's not about what you want or what you think is awesome. You can make books like that. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But you have to make sure you do the proper research and make sure it's in demand, that your readers actually want to read it. Like the Lone Wolf I created off the top of my mind. I made Josh the main character in that book, Joshua Rock. Yeah, but here's the thing. I didn't look for my target audience. I was just going off of random ideas, what I thought was cool, and not what the readers actually were saying that they wanted to read. And that's where I went wrong. It's not about what I wanted them to read. It's about what they want to read. So it's all about the audience.
So next up, we have finding best-selling authors on Amazon. Okay. So we're going to use Amazon primarily for all of our research. Why? Because this is where books are selling. This is where people are publishing. And as we discussed in the beginning, they're literally the publishing giant when it comes to this. So it just makes sense.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's the exact spot that you need to be. This is the link. And I was about to say, I see Marty, you just put it there into the chat box. This will take you directly over to this page actually that you see on the screen. So that way you don't have to go searching. You can just pop up right here and begin your research.
Yes, and that is www.kindlecashflow.com/research. It will simplify things for you. It will take you to exactly where you need to be to start conducting your market research. So you don't have to, because sometimes you could get lost, So you have this link, it'll take you straight there, save some time. And it's also in the chat box right there. Just posted it so you can copy that, just save it to the side.
So next we have, where's the audience located? Just on that screen that we just showed you, you're going to get these categories right here. So inside of these categories are different books and authors that you'll be able to research to determine whether or not, these books are profitable. So for example, some of the genres that you can publish into are genres like children's ebooks, cookbooks, food and wine, health, fitness, and dieting, as Ty was talking about with his nonfiction examples, mystery, thriller, and suspense, and science fiction and fantasy, and so many more. This is literally like a very small list and no specific order on this slide. But just some examples is literally, you can publish anything and everything on the Amazon. We've seen some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys have too.
Whoops. Keep double clicking. So next we have categories and subcategories. So let's just explain this real quick. Categories, this is the broader range of topics that serve as like the umbrella, pretty much like for your sub listings. So we have mystery, thriller, and suspense right here. This is our main category. We can niche it down just a little bit more. And the reason we're niching down, so that way we can target a smaller audience of people that would be interested in the books that we're creating. So your subcategories, this serves as like the raindrops under the umbrella that you can target for a specific readership. And then under subcategories is also something else where you can niche down even further to target an even more targeted group of people or readers. So these are even smaller tribes of readers within subcategories with even higher cash flow because they are so niche. So we just had an example, mystery, thriller, and suspense. The subcategory right here, we had clicked on suspense. And then over here, we had some other subcategories like ghost, horror, and so on.
Yeah, so you're just looking for the audience. That's all it is. You're looking to find the spot where you're going to start building your house. So you want to find exactly where are they? Like, where are they? If you're looking for mystery thriller, well, let's go down a little bit more. What is it? It's going to be in suspense? Yeah, I'm looking for suspense. All right, hit suspense. Well, which one is that going to be? Is it going to be horror? And then you can hit that. And now you found, like, you narrowed it down. You found that target audience where you can start studying and learning about them, you know? And that's what it is.
Okay. So next we have our goal when it comes to categories is this. The goal is to find categories with low competition and high cash flow. So in other words, low competition, meaning not that many authors publishing their books over there. There's a ton of readers, but not that many authors. And then high cash flow. High cash flow meaning there's a lot of readers over there wanting books. They just need you to put those books over there.
That's right.
So the bestsellers, the number one bestseller determines the cash flow of the category. So the lower the number one bestseller, the more money that goes into the whole category. And then the 100th bestseller determines the competition of the category. So the higher the number of the 100th bestseller, the less competition inside of that category. And we'll make that make sense.
And real quick, does that make sense to everyone? That we're looking at the number one bestseller and we're looking at the number 100 bestseller. So we're going to go on Amazon. We're going to show live examples of this as well. Okay. And when we do it live, it's going to make a lot more sense, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at the number one bestseller. We're looking at the number 100 bestseller. And then we're going to start studying their books and looking at their Amazon bestseller rank. So we're going to go through this. We'll go through the training and then we'll do it live and then we can jump in and show you guys.
Yeah,
right.
Live and make a lot more sense. So right here we have market research criteria. So for fiction, what we'll do is we'll navigate over to a category and we'll check out the number one bestseller and then the 100th bestseller. And you're going to see their Amazon bestselling ranking. So this is our criteria here for the number one bestseller in a category. Our criteria is it should be 2,500 or lower in that bestseller's ranking that you see right there where the arrow is pointing. And then when we click on the 100th book, we want to make sure that one's meeting. We want to make sure that is 25,000 or higher. Ideally 25,000, between 50,000 is a sweet spot though.
Yeah. And I do want to say these are estimates. You want to be around these. It doesn't have to exactly be 2,500 and lower, right? It could be, if it was 27, that's still good. You know, if it was in the 30s, that's still, not 30,000, but, 3,000, that's still technically good, So you want to really get around it. But once you start going to like 5,000 and, 6,000 and stuff like that, it starts to get different. So the number one is going to determine the cash flow to the category. So the lower the number one is, the more money that category makes as a whole. It's like, think of it as a market. The number one bestseller is determining the cash flow to the market. And we will be breaking this down more because I know we're going to have to go through this a couple of times. And then number 100 is just showing the competition. So number one saying like, hey, we got all this cash. Like if you look at here, number one bestseller is number 2 in the whole store. There is a lot of money going into this category. So that's good. That's what we're looking for. And then we'll go look at the number 100 and we see their ranking. The higher it is, that means the less competition. The lower the number, that means more competition. All right. So like I said, we're going to go through this a couple times. We're going to do it live. It's going to make it a lot more, easier.
So also in our research, along with the books, we want to make sure that we're studying these best-selling authors as well and taking note of what's working for them. And we're going to look at some of the elements here in a moment. But this is what you would typically see on a page when you're doing your research and then you're looking for other books and also other authors. We'll go to this page when we go live. You can click on these authors. Let's say that, Stephen King, for example, he would pop up and then you would see other authors that are related to him, like in that genre. So our goal here would be to click on these authors and then just get an idea pretty much of like what these authors are doing. How does the market look like? Just getting familiar with what you should be putting out there and how things should look when you actually publish.
Yeah. So the best-selling authors, they already paved the way for you to be successful. So if you wanted to jump in fantasy, it would make sense to go model and just start studying J.K. Rowling. She already paved the way of success for you. Stephen King, if you want to go in mystery, he paved the way. So why start from scratch? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can go and start studying and see what they're doing successfully, and then you can study that, and then you can have a jump start in your business because you don't have to start from scratch because they already did the work for you. You just have to go study them.
Exactly. Okay, so piggybacking on that, this is what we have: modeling success or inspiration. So elements to study when you are looking for inspiration. What we're looking at right now is pretty much an Amazon sales page. So if you were to click on a book, this is the page that you would see, so that way you could go purchase the book. And in this case, do some research, right? So here's some of the elements that we look at when we're doing our research. We're looking at the book title. We want to get an idea of how they are structuring that. Do they have the trope of the book inside of it? Is it short, sweet, to the point? Is it something about the book? The book cover, we want to see the different elements on it, the colors, the style, how big the letters are, how small are the letters, what color are they? The book description here, we want to see how this is structured. Is it long, short, drawn out? Does it pull you in? Is it boring? The book content. So this right here, they have a look inside feature. It's limited to what you can see unless you actually purchase the book, so you wouldn't be able to see everything. But what we look at is the front matter of the book. And when we're starting our research, we'll grab a couple books just to get an idea of what the whole book looks like front and back. But that's what we're talking about here. So book content, like the table of contents and any front matter that they're putting inside of the front of their book. Reader reviews, these you should be familiar with. So reader reviews, basically they are readers telling us what they like and don't like about the book. So this is another element that we're paying attention to, because they literally throw up information. They'll give you whole paragraphs or essays about what they do or don't like in the book. And you'll be able to use that information to create your own. And then last things here, we have page numbers. This is basically just the length of the book. The sales ranking that we were just discussing. The pricing of the book. So we're looking at the pricing to see how they're structuring it. For this author, James Patterson, you see his books like $14.99. He has a brand attached to him. So that's why he's selling at that. But we're looking to see overall what the market's selling at. And then tropes, just using romance as an example here, like billionaire romance, stepdaddy romances, things like that. We want to see what these authors are creating, so that way we can create that as well.
Yes.
All right, so studying the book content. This is some of the stuff that you would see in the look inside feature here. So just 5 quick things. We have 1, the point of view. So this is the narrator's position in relation to the story being told, first person, third person, how are they projecting that inside of the book? So that way, you know how to write yours. Events, a thing that happens, especially one of importance, like in the romance world, it could be a divorce. In a mystery book, it could be someone being killed or a crime being committed, something along those lines. The setting, so that's the location and time frame in which the action of the narrative takes place. So, using like Avengers, for example, that's more futuristic compared to like Sherlock Holmes or something, which is like back in the day.
Yeah.
Characters, we have a person in the narrative and maybe an entirely fictional or based on real life. This is pretty straightforward. It's just your character. You can think of it like Superman, Harry Potter, things like that. And then last thing, so endings, the final or conclusion, could be happy or sad. In romance, they have happily ever after. Sometimes they leave them hanging and there is no happily ever after. It could end with someone being married. It could end, in a mystery series with this crime being solved. It's really just a wrap up of the book and giving your reader like that complete story, so they feel satisfied after reading.
Yeah. There's a question from Rusty. How do you find tropes without reading the book? What are the clues? So you can check out like the book cover, the book title, the book description, and the reader reviews. They will spill everything there. So you don't have to actually buy the book to learn about the tropes. And inside of the book, you can just, we're going to show you this as well. You can just click the book and you can start reading some stuff. If you would like to buy the book and study it, you can do that as well to get the whole front and back to see how they're formatting. You can read it and just to kind of get a vision for yourself. But you don't actually have to buy the book if you don't want to. You can actually just go to the reader reviews and then they just spill the whole story for you. Like you really, like the reader reviews is such a gold mine because they tell you everything. They sum the whole story up for you. So use it to your advantage.
All right. So we have this here. So clarity for modeling authors. Once again, we're not looking, when we say modeling, we're not saying, take the exact cover wording and everything inside of their books and use that. We're saying just take some inspiration, put your own twists and spin on it, but also give the reader the same feel and experience that they're getting from that other author. And that's what really creates like that best-selling factor and how we guarantee, when you put books up, they work on Amazon. So just a little quick thing, do not copy authors' books word for word, image for image, etc. We model success to get inspiration, direction, to learn about what readers like so we can create our own signature brand. Amazon takes this very seriously and will limit and restrict your account from publishing if you are using plagiarized content. And you want to make sure that you're using original content and just make sure that you're using original content and just creating the same experience and excitement that you got from the author you're modeling.
Yes. And if you're outsourcing like we are right now, you have to make sure you communicate this with your ghostwriter, make it very clear, and you can check their work as well with like Copyscape and stuff like that. You can put it in there. You can see if they plagiarize any kind of content.
Mm-hmm. All right. So along with our research that we do, as we're collecting in the book titles and covers and descriptions and looking at all this good stuff, we want to make sure that we're keeping track of this information because, as we preach, we're not writing the books ourselves. We're outsourcing these to other people unless you want to. But you want to make sure that you have all of that tracked inside of a document. We use Google Docs, and that's just we use Google Excel. Or Google Docs. And that's just so there's a way you can just send it over to your ghostwriter, it's all done and they can read over it and then create a book for you.
All right. So now we're going to be jumping into a live training here. So Josh, go ahead and hit that link and go to start doing some research. All right, so we're going to go through this a couple of times to show you guys live because we understand just going through it one time, it always gets confusing, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to take this one step at a time. So Josh, go ahead and take it away.
All right. So now that we're over at this page, like we said, this is where you're going to start your research. So we have two different categories. We have short reads and then we have ebooks over here. We're going to start in short reads just as an example. And we are going to click on 90 minutes. And then we're going to click on literature and fiction.
All right, stop right there. So what he just did is he narrowed down and found the spot he wanted to be. So he's looking for a target audience. So he was just going through the categories and he's just breaking it down. He's looking for subcategories. So he found one category and it broke down into a subcategory. And this one, sometimes not every category has a bunch of subcategories. It could just have one, it could have two, and some could have three, So he's breaking it down and he's looking for the exact spot he's going to start doing his research to find that target audience. Okay. Is that understandable? I want to make sure everyone understands that. Looking for the target audience.
Let us know. Does it make sense?
Let us know in the chat.
I guess it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Yes. Cool. All right. So now we're going to take it and we're going to look at the number one bestseller or the number one ranking book in this category. We're going to just throw that to the side right here. We're going to scroll down to the page. Like he clicked it, he went to the page, he's scrolling down now. And at the very bottom right here where it says product details, he's looking for the bestseller rank. Okay. Don't worry about all the other ranking under there. That's category ranking. Just look at the bestseller rank. So this one is number 155 in the whole entire Kindle store. That's the whole entire store. The ones below it, the ranking below it is for categories. Okay. So 155. Now, is 155 under the 2,500? Yes. So what this is telling us is that this book makes great money. A lot of cash flow goes into this category. This is good. This is what we want to see. Okay, so now he's going to go back to the main category.
I'm going to go over here to the second page.
Scrolling down to the second page. There's only 100. You're only going to see 100, and the 100 is always on the second page.
I'm going to open this up.
Now he's opening number 100, and he's scrolling down to the product details again to look at the bestseller rank. And it's 36,181. Now, does this category look good? Let us know. We got a bunch of yeses. Yes, this is a good category. How do we get here? So you can go to kindlecashflow.com/research, and it takes you over to the category section. And we'll do it again. We're going to do it many times, okay? So this one is a really good category. And I like Brenda. She said it's in the sweet spot. And there's some others said it's in the sweet spot as well. And that's really good. So this is a good category that you can actually start going in and doing some research and start building. It shows it makes money and there's not a lot of competition. And put it this way. If number one, and we're going to show some examples, if number one was low and number 100 was low as well, that means there's just a lot of competition inside of this category. Meaning, as someone newer or someone trying to build their brand, you're going to have to do so much more to compete with another author that already has an email list, that already knows what they're doing with publishing, that has a marketing budget and stuff like that. And we're not looking to compete with these New York Times bestselling authors or authors that are just been in there for a very long time. We're looking to find some nice spots that we can go and just start building our brand. Later, we can go into more competitive categories. That's no problem because we would build our email list and stuff like that. So we're going to give more examples. So Josh, let's do this over again. Start it from the very top.
Yep. Close this out. Go back to the Kindle store. And this time we'll go back to short reads. I'm going to go to 2 hours and more. And by the way, when you're doing your research, you're not going to have like really, you might, right? You might have an idea of like what you want to publish into. But initially, you're just going to be clicking through, guys, and just literally just doing your research as we're doing it and just looking at these numbers and seeing what is profitable. So right now, we're going to go over to, let's see, science fiction and fantasy. Okay. So click on that first book again.
Okay, looking at the first book.
And
going down to the product detail section. All right. Does this look good? Is the cash flow looking good for this category? Let us know.
By the way, just real quick, because I saw this in the chat box, a short read is just a short book. Just as you can see right here, it's like 2 hours and more is how they're categorizing it. So it takes about 2 hours on average to read the book.
Yeah. So we got all the yeses coming in the chat box. That's right. So this one has some good cash flow in it. So now we're going to look at number 100 and see what the competition looks like. So this category looks good so far. It's making money. Let's see what the competition looks like.
There we go. What was that? Okay, I will scroll it on down. What we got?
All right, let us know. Let us know. So the first one is going to be 2,500 and below. And if you're thinking about what Ty said, remember he was doing nonfiction and we're doing fiction. Don't get confused with that. Interesting. Some interesting answers. So I like Rusty's answer there. It's a little higher, but it's honestly not that bad. Remember, the sweet spot the 25,000 to 50,000 is a nice sweet spot. It doesn't mean you have to be in there. It's close to the 50,000. Rusty said, I'm all over this category. Yeah, that's if you guys see good categories that we show on the screen, go ahead and just write them down.
Take them, yeah.
So number 100. So Josh, you have a paper we can pull out. It's probably better if we
yeah, 1 second. I have it.
So number 1 needs to be 2,500 and below. Number 100 needs to be 25,000 and above. All right, just focus on that.
Give me 1 second.
We have an ideal sweet spot that we found that works very good for us, and it's 25,000 to 50,000 for the number 100. It's just a sweet spot. It doesn't mean you have to be in those range just to publish in that category. It's just works very good for us. No.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't have it.
No, just the 20.
This.
Yeah, the criteria. So they can see it. You know, it's easier if they can see it.
Chart. There we go.
Boom. So remember, number 1, 2,500 and lower shows the cash flow. Number 100 is 25,000 and higher. Okay. So right now, don't even focus on the sweet spot. The sweet spot is just, we've done so much research and stuff and published 2 categories in these range, and it does amazing for us. If you see something in the sweet spot for number 100, it shows that that's really good. Now, if it's above, right, it's still okay. We just need to, you know, just look at the categories, make sure it's good. So let's see. Toby says, I thought number 100 had to be 25,000 and under. No, that's number 1 needs to be 2,500 and below. Number 100 needs to be 25,000 and higher. And it could be easy to kind of get confused from the nonfiction way and the fiction way. So remember, we're doing fiction here. And we have it right here on the screen. So let's go jump in another example.
Okay. All right, let me go back. Back.
So now we're just going to the category, going to something random. You're just doing your research. Just be open-minded. You just look around that stuff. And we're going to focus on fiction categories since that's what we're talking about. So literature and fiction, he's going to. So he found a category, and now he's looking for a subcategory. And then for the subcategory, he hit action and adventure. I think, so we hit that. And then now he actually switched it over to short story. So now he found the most narrow spot he could be. Okay. He's going to look at the number 100 bestseller, and then he's going to look at the number 1 bestseller. So first, this one. All right. Riley Edwards. Shout out to Riley Edwards. It's a good friend of ours.
Boom.
And she's always doing amazing.
Always.
So there it is. It shows this category has good cash flow. It's under 2,500. Okay. Number 1 made the cut for the cash flow. Now let's go to number 100 and let's look at the competition. Is it too much competition? Is it not enough competition? What does it look like?
Okay, going to the 100th. Okay, scrolling on down. Oh, whoops. All right.
All right, y'all. Let us know. Let us know. Is this good or not? Sweet spot. So we found a good category here. It's right in the sweet spot. So once again, number 1 is showing that great money is going into this category. Number 100 is saying there's not a lot of competition, meaning we can get into this category and really start building a nice brand without having to really like compete with these New York Times bestselling authors. Josh, let's show an example of a extremely competitive category so they can see what it looks like. So we found a sweet spot right here. Let's go to contemporary romance. This is always, contemporary romance is always like super competitive.
It says literally where I'm going. This is good right here.
All right. We're in contemporary romance. Now we're looking at number 1. Scrolling down to the product details. looking for the Amazon bestseller ranking, number 2 in the whole entire store. And let's be honest, this person, this one book right here is making millions of dollars. If you want to put it in that perspective, millions of dollars they're making. And they're getting a bonus check for being that ranking from Amazon. They're probably getting about what, $25,000 bonus check for being number 2. If you're top 10, you get a bonus check. A lot of people don't know that. It's pretty crazy. Amazon will take care of you. All right, so now we're going to number 100.
Pippa Grant.
Scrolling down. All right, so let us know right now in the chat, what is this saying? Is this a good category? Got a bunch of no's, not for me. So this category is saying it has so much money in this category, it's probably almost ridiculous, right? So much money. And to put in a perspective, like the number 100 is making 6 figures, easy. But here's the thing, since there's so much money in the category, it's very attractive to competition. So when you look at this category has good cash flow, a boatload of income is going into it, but it also has a lot of competition. Meaning, if you want to be number 100 in this category, you have to be ranked 392 in the entire store to compete in this category. Now, would it be worth it to be that ranking and stuff? Absolutely. But when we're starting off and we're building, we're not looking to instantly jump into this category. We're looking for another category that we can start building our brand, get on the very front page so we can get the algorithm's attention so we can start promoting our book. So this is a very competitive category. You can get in this category later if you wanted to, but whenever you're starting off and you're building, it's just best to avoid this one for right now.
And I can guarantee you these people, like, because they're pouring a lot of money into these books to maintain these positions as well. So that's another reason why you won't be able to compete as well as a new author.
Yeah. And it gets fun. As you keep building, you'll be able to do this naturally. You keep building your email list. You make money from the business and you reinvest that money, that profits right back into the business. That helps you compete with bigger authors and make more money in general. So it's just a building phase. It's just a brick by brick. When you look at this stuff, just think of it like I had to put my very first brick down first. And I'm going to put another brick down and I'm going to just keep building. How do we build our email list? We will be teaching you on the third day. The third day of the live, we will be teaching you how to build your email list. All right, so let's do another example. And this time, let's just let them say it in chat. So we're gonna go a little faster. We're gonna go through some categories and we're gonna let you guys let us know if it's good or not. A little activity here.
We have children's ebooks, action and adventure. This is about to get really niche. So I'm gonna click on animals. Actually, no, okay. All right, so we got children's, animals, action and adventure.
Minecraft. Doing good.
Let's look at this first one. Okay.
All right, does this look good or no? Let us know. Yes. Good cash flow. All right, let's look at number 100.
Okay.
And I think I wanted to answer something. Someone just said, like, Rusty, that's scary. I guess it could be more money for advertising. Guys, also remember, as you keep building, you're going to make more money, meaning you can put more money into things. Just for example, if you're making $100,000 a month from publishing books, are you going to worry about putting $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 back in if you're just going to make it right back and more? But you don't start off that way. With Josh and I, we started off with $250. And then we put that money in, we did what we could, that $250 became $500. And then we kept reinvesting back in, that $500 became $2,200. And then we reinvested it back in, that $2,200 became $14,000. And then we reinvested it back in, and then the $14,000 became $35,000. And then we reinvested it back in, $35,000 became $100,000. And then that's the way you have to do it. It's a brick by brick. You have to build your way up there if you do not have the funds for it. And that's no problem because we didn't have the funds. And there's a lot of people in the group that didn't have the funds and they started off doing one thing and then they built their way up there. Like Matal, for example, he started doing all this stuff without advertising and making $10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you're reinvesting everything, how do you live? That's a great question. We reinvest and you get to a certain point, you can take profits. So when I mean reinvest, it doesn't mean like you're putting the whole $14,000 back in. It's more like we put it on the side. We pay for the necessary things we need to run the business and we can scale a little bit up if we want to. And then we can take a percent of that profit and we can put it to the side and go live our life. When we first hit our $14,000, we already, we quit everything. We were free at that very moment. And we were just taking a percent of that profit, putting it over to the side, reinvesting, letting the business grow and continue to scale, having that snowball effect. And then we would just take that profit and we'd do stuff on the side. Travel, vacation. And then the things that we do, I'll just throw this out here, not financial advice. You definitely contact like a tax professional, but we focus on things that are tax write-offs. So going on vacation, we can write things off like that. That helps us save even more money.
Exactly. All right, so let me look at this 100th book.
So Josh, do a fiction. Let's do a fiction. Well, let's finish this category real quick, just to give some examples since we're here. But let's do fiction.
This is okay.
Now, all right, so if this was a fiction category, would this be a good one? Yes. I think you guys are getting, all right, let's go to another one. Let's go a little faster. We're gonna go a little faster. Yes, it's in a sweet spot. And this is another reason why, we're very big on, we are our brothers and sisters keepers, because a lot of you guys I can see in the chat are getting it, understanding it. And if there's like 1, 2 people that are not understanding it, like you should reach out to them and teach them. Les Brown says like the best way to learn is to teach. And apologize, I can see Josh smiling. Apologize for the guy for the cover showing snaps and stuff. It's not like that, All right, so number 1, does this rank look good? Boom, yes. All right, number 100.
Screen's a little bigger, zoom this, so it takes a minute to scroll. Let me get down here.
Does this rank look good? Yes. Awesome. Here's another category. Josh, we've been putting some good categories on the screen. Hopefully you guys have been writing some stuff down. Doing some research. Can we check out a thriller, a mystery thriller? Let's check out a mystery thriller. Let's see what that looks like. Yep.
Mystery thrillers.
All right, so he's going to the category. He's narrowing it down, looking for the subcategory. He's going to find something.
Assassinations.
What the craziest thing. All right, so now he's in the category where he's going to conduct his research. Now he's looking at number 1.
Okay.
All right. Whoa, that's amazing. I actually wasn't expecting that. Number 3. All right, amazing. They're doing an amazing job. This is a really good person to model right there, So we're looking at number 100. Is this category good? Very interesting. Very interesting. Is this good? Would you, all right, you starting off, would you want to publish to this category? A bit competitive right now. Yep. All right, you guys are getting it. And once again, I'm not saying these categories are not good, they're not bad. They show they have good cash flow. But when you're starting off and you want to build your brand, you don't want to jump in something that has all the competition in the world, because you want to make sure that you can get on the top 100. So later you can come back to this category and you can start publishing to it and you can start working on dominating it. But right now, let's just find some better spots for us that we can build our brand. Okay. Let's look at something else. We'll go through a couple more. Like 2, 3 more.
Breakout after.
Yep. We're going to have a breakout session after this. 2, 3 more.
Go to.
Right. So once again, he's looking for the category. He found one. He found one category. Now he's looking for the subcategory. He hit short stories. Now he's looking for a subcategory. Let's do what do you got here? Single authors.
We can do something different. If you want to do something different.
Western. Actually, women's fiction. I'm sorry, I'm indecisive.
Hey, we'll do both of them.
Yeah, let's do both of them. All right, number 1. Doesn't look good. All right, awesome. Not really the category to jump into right now because it's showing like, it's not that attractive when it comes to the cash flow. There's not really a reason to look at number 100 if number 1 is not good, because first you want to make sure it has cash flow. Now, markets move. So later you could, if you like this category, you can put it to the side. You can check it out later and see if it goes down. And sometimes people will jump in these categories and start making them good, and then you can jump in it. Or if you wanted to be the one to jump in it and try it out, you could become number 1 bestseller easy in this category. But remember, just because you're number 1 bestseller doesn't always mean you're making good money. It just means you're number 1 in that category. Okay, let's just look at number 100 so they have a view for it.
Sure. Coming on down.
All right, so what I'm seeing here is this category eventually is probably going to be nice, because you can see the competition is not high. A lot of times you see books, but they're kind of higher with the number 1. The number 100 is usually like in the hundreds of thousands or possibly millions. But this doesn't look too bad. This is a category I wouldn't jump into right now. I'll definitely go do more research, but I would just write it down and I'll put it to the side. I'll revisit it later and see how it looks. All right, let's look at another one. The women's fiction.
Yes.
And are you guys getting value from this? Let us know in the chat. Are you guys getting some value from this? I want to make sure we're giving you guys some value. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
I got the yeses flooding the chat. Good stuff. Absolutely. All right. Number 1, going down again.
Blank.
How does it look? Does it look good? Let us know. Yeah, there we go. All right, number 100. It looks good. Great cash flow going on in this one. I see some familiar people in here.
Boom, okay.
All right. How's this look, y'all? This is interesting. How is this? What do you guys think about this one? So it's under 25,000. Let's see. This is interesting. I like the answer is not bad, but I would definitely put it to the side and look for more. It's not that far from 25,000. So put it like this, the lower the number 100 gets, the more competition. If I could give an example, think of it like applying pressure, or how about this? You go to the sink, right? The more you put that handle over, the more water starts coming out, right? Think of it like that. So you're just slowly pulling it over and just more water starting to come out, starting to get stronger. You can think of it like that. So the lower the number 100 goes, the more competitive it becomes. Now, this category is not bad. Right? It's not bad, but we're still looking for something better. I would put this to the side because this does look like a good category, but you have to just be ready for it, right? I would definitely put it to the side, and so I can revisit it later. I will look for more categories, that I can publish my book into. Look for ones that have like a better sweet spot for me to jump into so I can grow. But if you wanted to test some things out, you could throw a book over here and see how it does for you, you know? So it's good. This is not bad. It's not a bad one. Put it to the side, y'all. I'm telling you, this one, not too bad. Let's do another one. They're getting value from it.
This will be the last one. Let's go to, I was about to click on science and math. Sorry, science fiction and fantasy.
Okay. Science fiction. Ooh, let's hit.
Which one did you see?
Wait, actually, no, this is cool. Alien Invasion.
Okay.
I was going to say Galactic Empire. I'm gonna got my attention. I never seen that one, I think.
Okay.
How's that look, y'all? What do you guys think about that? 303. Yes. So I see in the chat. It's being flooded. Wow. Yep. That's right. It looks good. There's cash flow, great money. #1 bestsellers, making 6 figures easy. With that one book, 6 figures with, well, you know, for the whole year. They're probably making about, you know, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month with that one book. Just really depends on like the page numbers and stuff that they're doing with it.
Whoops. All right.
How's that? How is that, y'all? What do you guys think? Meanie said, I'll take 20K a month. Yeah, so this is a little bit more competitive. Now, when it starts to look like this, I don't even really look at it. Like,
Run, Forrest, run.
Now, yeah, I know. I saw that. Run, Forrest, run. Now, the 15,000 looked way more attractive than this. Like the 15,000 is one I would jump in and try out because it shows that, you know, it had some good competition in there. It has good cash flow, but it's not like overwhelming. Like this starts to get to a certain point, right? Because we want to be on the very first page. That's what we want. Because when you go on Amazon, you have to be honest with yourself. If you go through this, how many times are you actually looking on the second page? You know, now you definitely can, and it happened. But when you go on, you're mainly just looking at the first page. You're looking at like the top 20. Imagine getting a shout out from one of these guys. If they have an email list, and that's the thing, Rusty pointed out something there. Make sure you network with authors because they can shout you out and you can get a jump start for your business. You know, just reach out to them. You never know. All right, so Josh.
Yes.
I think we still got like 25 minutes. So we're going to break into a breakout session here. Real quick before we jump into it, as you know, we are brothers and sisters keepers. If you guys got some value out of this, make sure you go into the Facebook group and just post one valuable thing that you got from it. You can put my biggest takeaway on today. You don't have to put mini session. I probably should have removed that. But today's training, I got this, you know, one valuable thing that you got, because we are brothers and sisters keepers, and everyone that wasn't able to join this call, they probably missed out on something. And it's our chance and our opportunity to help one another build and grow and share that information, because when we do that, everyone grows at the whole. Like no one gets left behind. And that's what it's all about, making sure we grow. So if you can just do that real quick, post one valuable thing. We're going to be picking a random winner here to give something away.